me to change, they want me to change, but I ain't changing. Nah, I remain.
And you are now tuned in to another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you in conjunction with A Beautiful Machine magazine, as well as the mighty Nerd DJs Radio Network. Y'all already know, man, week after week, month after month, year after year, we only rock with legends around here, and it doesn't get more legendary than the Four Tops. I could go to the hyperbole about the greatness of every song they've made, the decades, the members. I could give you every aspect, but I won't because they are here in the flesh. We got the Four Tops joining the conversation. How y'all doing, Kings?
All right. Now, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
Good.
I'm like Mike is in the back cave.
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mike.
Right. Oh, what's up, bro?
All right, baby.
My man.
All right, so I don't usually have multiple people, so forgive me if I don't give everybody on the screen at the same time every time. But I'm doing my best. How y'all doing, man? How's the families?
Oh man, everybody's fine, man. We can't complain.
Not at all.
Okay, so we got Mike and we got Lawrence, correct?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Okay. What role do you play in the Four Tops, and how long have you guys been in the Four Tops?
Well, you can start off, Mike. Go ahead.
I played a role of first tenor, second tenor, and little lead, and I've been with the organization, Four Tops, for over 15 years. I was on retainer. Mr. Duke Facure discovered me along with Lawrence Payton Jr. and made me the fifth top. In other words, when anyone had any problems or anything, that I would step right in. So I had to know lead, first, second, and baritone. And Mr. Duke Facure passed the baton to me July 22nd of year 24, I believe it was, 2 years ago. And I've been on stage performing for a little over 2 years.
How about yourself, Lawrence?
And myself, I'm Lawrence Payton Jr. here. I've been in the group actively on stage for 20 years. The role I play is first tenor, second tenor, baritone, and a little bit of lead, as well as Mike mentioned. We all kind of move around a bit. We do the job that we have to do at the time. And we're just keeping the legacy alive. Just keeping the legacy alive.
Okay, give me a little history on the organization, as you put the Four Tops.
The organization was founded in 1954 by the original four members, Lawrence, Levi, Duke, and Obi, and they've been together. They stayed together. They never broke up. The only thing that came between them was death. My father passed away in 1997 after 44 years. Then Obi passed away in 2005, and that's when I actually joined the group. But previous to that, I had been writing songs for him and arranging and stuff like that. Levi Stubbs passed in 2008, and Duke Fakir passed in 2024.
Okay, so do you audition? Do they just see you somewhere and say, "Hey, I want you to be the next generation"? But hold on, especially Mike, because you said you're the fifth top.
Yeah, you basically audition with your life, your lifestyle, and your performance level and your talent. Lawrence Payton Jr. and I were just discussing that on today, and talent is only 10%.
Yes,
because Obi, Duke, Levi, and Lawrence, they set a precedence. They set it a high level for an organization. They were great singers and great performers, but they were also great men. and they took care of their families, and they provided a very, very good, solid, profound, stabilized situation for us to step right in and carry the legacy. So you can only you can be able to you got to be able to sing, perform, and entertain.
Hmm.
That comes without question. But you've also have to be a good person. You got to be able to maintain on the road, and off on and off stage has to be a level of excellence.
Does it get tiring have to dress alike?
No, listen, it doesn't get tired. What's tiring? Let me tell you something. You don't get tired of the things that you love. We love doing this. You know what I mean? And to be handpicked to do it, it
Hmm.
actually means something, you know. But we really love doing what we do. We want to give the best show that we can give. We get out there on that stage. We're not under the influence of alcohol or any other kind of drug or deterrent or anything. We get out there and we just do the best that we can, man. And it just makes it all very, very easy and easy to do. But
So,
the road, like people have a misconception of an entertainer's life. You know, the stage is just a small part of it. It's getting to the gig, is going through the airports or being on the tour bus, going dealing with the weather. You might some shows you might get to an hour before the show, and you have to get out there after no sleep of being on the tour bus all night. The bus breaks down, the flight gets canceled. Oh, there's a lot of variables, but you have to keep yourself show ready.
worst show you guys have done.
Beg your pardon?
Worst show you
The
guys have
worst
done.
the worst show I remember doing was at a place in Detroit that we'll be performing there the 21st of February in about a month. That's the worst show I can remember doing. It was at Andiamo's in Detroit. It was just a bad show. We had just got a new music director. He didn't have things quite right. He's a great director, but at that particular night, he didn't have things quite right. Our lead singer at the time, he was in bad voice. Duke, he was having problems with his in ears, and it was just a horrible show. But you live and die right there on stage. Show must go on.
Most enjoyable show.
Well, what's your most enjoyable show, Mike?
Oh, thank you for asking. I have a couple of them. One was definitely in Detroit because being at home with the family, and the other I liked the show in Hawaii. I liked everything along with the show because you never stop working. You're always working on maintaining a good show. And hey, baby, his birthday was yesterday,
Hey,
and
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
it's Cameron. So it's never a bad show for me. Showtime starts when you get out of bed. You
Mm.
know, you never know who you may run into at the grocery store, the gas station, anywhere, and they want to take a picture or they want to know information about where you're singing next and things of that nature. So, along with being gregarious, sociable, professional, it's important to be able to just maintain that good spirituality, and that's the
absolutely.
legacy of the Four Tops.
But to answer your question, my favorite show, I had two of them also. One was at Royal Albert Hall in London. The venue
Mhm.
is historic, and you know many of acts have performed on that stage. I think, and then the acoustics in the place is so fabulous. So I enjoyed Royal Albert, and we also did a show in Missouri. I can't remember what city it was in Missouri, but what I do remember was that the show was it was about the Korean War veterans
Mhm.
and the Vietnam War veterans, and that brought a lot of awareness to me as how this four top and Motown music affected other people. They would give us stories about being in the trenches in the middle of the war, or waking up in the morning and the only thing they could hold on to that made them feel comfortable was that Motown music, and they would name our songs. So I found that show very fulfilling and eye-opening. It was an eye-opener to how this music is the soundtrack of a lot of people's lives and how it touches people in very profound ways.
Okay, Lawrence, you have a unique perspective because your pops was a founding member, correct?
Absolutely.
Was there ever a time where you resented the Four Tops for taking pops away?
No. You know why? Because he was always away. The 10 years before the Tops were with Motown, they traveled all over the country. They were at all of the venues, and he was always gone previous to Motown. So I kind of grew up with him in and out of the house, and he always made, when he was home, he was so, it was like living with Santa Claus. That's what it was like. I mean, he brought so much joy, and I'm not talking about material joy, just the joy of him being there, his personality and who he was. It was like, oh, let's go to the drive-in, let's go to Belle Isle. Hey, let's order barbecue, let's order pizza. So no, I never resented it. Actually, it worked out to my advantage, because when he came home, he'd be missing us as much as we would be missing him. So he made it a festive type environment.
Okay, so we're all from Detroit, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes. Well, Theo Peoples is from St. Louis. Okay. Ronnie McNair is from Pontiac, Michigan, but that's right outside of Detroit. So we consider him a Detroiter too.
You gotta hold up a little bit. Now I'm not. You know how we are. We're a little funny about it.
Go ahead.
What high school we go to? I went to Ford.
Oh, you went to Henry Ford?
I did.
Listen, we used to skip school out of there. I went to Mumford. We used to skip school and go to Henry Ford. remember the days when they would have walkouts?
Yo.
Yes.
So give me walk me. It's hard for me to explain to people Belle Isle in the 90s.
Let me tell you.
Give me a Friday night, it's 85 degrees, and you just got a brand new car and you rolling down Jefferson towards Belle Isle.
Oh my God. Let me tell you what that's like. That's like being on it's like being on the Woodward Dream Cruise, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like being on the Woodward Dream Cruise, and you turn, and then after the cruise, the dust sets in, and then you head out to Belle Isle. And all of the cars are lined up. It's beautiful. You can feel the breeze coming off of the Detroit River from Canada. You can see Canada right across the river. Everybody's outside of the cars. They got grills going on, the hot dogs, barbecue. You hear Motown music. You hear Bob Seger going through there. You hear little Ted Nugent. Oh man, it was fantastic. It was like being on Fantasy Island.
Your man said Ted Nugent.
I said Ted Nugent.
Hey, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I ain't never in the history of my ever
Go ahead.
heard a Ted Nugent song on Belle Isle.
Yes, you have.
Shit.
Yes, you have. Come on, man.
That was during the Hoedown festival.
Well, that was definitely, but Ted Nugent. You would hear Ted Nugent because he was always up in the area, man.
Okay,
always.
Mike, what's your favorite song to sing when you guys go on tour?
Oh, Keeper of the Castle.
Oh, stop lying, Mike. Stop lying. His favorite song is Still Water Runs Deep because he sings it.
Nothing wrong with that. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I mean, but I like Keeper of the Castle, and I like Can't Help Myself because I know I'm getting ready to get paid. That's the last song. But you know what? I love In the Still of the Night. I'm a harmony person. I like harmonizing and just singing with the fellas. We got a real good blend,
New edition of the Temptations.
Say that again.
New Edition or the Temptations?
Well, that's a hard one. I like
I say Temptations.
I say this. I say that nobody, the Temptations were the greatest soul group that came out in their time. But for this particular time, and I don't think New Edition vocally could ever touch the Temptations. But the choreography of New Edition, they will give the Temptations a run for their money. And I love their longevity and their staying power, you know. But you got to give the Temps their credit. I don't think New Edition could out-sing them, but New Edition is great for who they are in the era that they come up in.
Exactly. I need the David Ruffin Temptations. No disrespect to anybody else, but I need the Temptations. Like
you got to have David, baby. Ain't nobody like David. That first five, that original five lineup of the Temptations. Oh, nobody was greater than David. He just brought such charisma and the style that he performed at. Nobody had we'd never seen that before.
Okay, let me ask you that. If there's somebody out there that you could trade, living or dead, that you could trade voices with as far as singing, who would it be?
You go first, Mike.
Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, really?
He said one
person. Put them all in one. Put them all in one. And my mother.
I would say, for me, it would have to be. It would have to be Nat King Cole and it's right on the tip of my tongue. Gosh, Johnny Mathis.
Johnny Mathis had a beautiful fucking voice.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you.
You would have to put Jackie Wilson into that too.
I can't forget Luther Vandross.
No, you can't. Absolutely not.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
Yeah.
The one song you remember your mother singing that still touches your soul.
Ooh. Oh, Let God Abide, An Amazing Grace.
What about Amazing Grace?
It's the way she sang it. She had a 3-octave range, and she her tone was a cross between young Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin and Natalie Cole and my sister too. But my mom was a pioneer. And she taught us all, as well as my dad. I had 2 older brothers and an older sister. And I was always around music, And everybody played an instrument, you know, so. And it was like a combination between the Jacksons and.
What Jackson you talking about? Jesse Jackson?
That's my partner on the road. You know, we talk shit 24/7.
Yeah, because that's kind of fucked up, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's my man. That's my man. If we ain't talking shit, then we ain't tight.
We ain't having fun.
We ain't having fun.
Do you get tired of being on the road though?
Hell no.
No, you miss your family. You know, you miss your family. Yeah. But we don't get tired of being on the road. You know what I mean? No. But you need little breaks. Because we perpetually work, you know what I'm saying? So we're like last week we did 4 shows in a row, had a day off and did another show. You know, so when you're doing those one-nighters and you go from city to city, you can get you have to maintain your get your rest and be make sure you don't get dehydrated and things like that. So it can get a bit stressful, but you don't really get tired of the road. But you do need your breaks in between here and there.
What's wrong with R&B nowadays?
No, they try to get something for nothing for me. You got to put the work in. You got to rehearse. You got to sing the song. You know the AI stuff now, and you got to perform the song. And the songwriting isn't like it used to be as well. The lyrics are provocative, and I would like to see the harmony in the songs and the arrangement of the songs and the production of the songs with real instruments.
And see all of that, but I don't think anything's wrong with R&B. I think the problem is the program directors are playing. They're playing a lot of hip hop and things like that. In the real R&B, there's some wonderful young artists that's putting out beautiful music, but you never hear it on mainstream radio because they have diluted the content of what they want us to hear. They want us to hear all the garbage. They want the girls to be stripper and the guys to be gang members. But there's a whole lot of beautiful music that these young people that putting out that you never hear, and it's a travesty. It's an injustice to the people that love music and to our culture. It's an injustice because there's some very wonderful music being put out that you never hear.
October London and Kim.
Yeah, they're just two of them, but they're younger guys, younger people than Kim. There's really, and October is one of those gentlemen, but there's some wonderful music that we mainstream never hears.
Yo, Kim is sick. Like the fact that this man is not a household name is just disrespectful to vocal cords everywhere.
Well, that's one of the things I'm saying. Kim, they put that. Kim is a very good friend of Mike's, by the way. But they'll put Kim's music out, and they'll showcase maybe one of the songs on the album and things like that. And then and he has a market and he has a following and he always hits that niche, but it should be promoted more. And they just stay off of it because that's not the type of music that the program directors want to hear. They promote all of the diluted R&B. That's a very good example of that.
In his case, though, I gotta blame him a little bit.
Why?
Because I think that, like as you said, he found his lane.
Yep.
And stayed in it.
And you know
how
what?
you gonna blame him? How you blaming him?
I mean, well, you can't expect, like I can't say, well, exit number 9 doesn't hear your music if you never get off at exit number 9.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and I think a part of that is with Kim specifically. I think he does most of the writing on his albums, and I don't think he has outside writers or anything on his album. This is what I've been told because I wanted to submit some songs to him. Is that true, Mike?
Yeah, that's true. He definitely stays in his lane in terms of writing and producing and arranging, but there are people that haven't been allowed to listen to his music because he can, unless they go on the internet or YouTube or what have you. But as far as radio and TV, he's challenged because his music is so good to me. It's great.
It is good, but I sort of agree that I think he stays in his lane. And I think if he had different, if he used a couple of different songwriters, they could really sometimes, producers could add to you, just like the guys that we worked with, Mike, in Atlanta, Kennard and those guys. We recorded 2 songs that we would have never did ourselves, but they brought something different to us, and we brought something different to their songs. So sometimes you need that diversity, and you need that.
It's
you
hard
need to be challenged outside of your comfort zone.
It's hard to argue with success.
Yep.
Like Kim is like the red man of R&B.
Yes.
Hmm,
Yes. That's right.
okay.
You're
I think that
absolutely
would be a
right. But he is a
perfect analogy.
fabulous. He's a fabulous artist, though. I agree totally.
Okay, so let me give you guys let me give you guys a scenario. Okay, so I have recreated Motown. I'm the guy now, and I got a blank check and I got a time machine.
Okay.
You guys can recreate the Four Tops with any four singers in the history of vocal cords and dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and you get one songwriter. Which
Mm-hmm.
singers do you pick, and which songwriter?
Well, the singers I pick you probably haven't heard of, but I would take Mike Brock.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take myself. I would take I would take one of the best first tenors in the world, whoever that may be, and I would take Theo Peoples, and we would be the Four Tops.
Mm. What say you, Mike?
I
Um,
take I take Ronnie McNair too. Ronnie's in the group. I definitely take Ronnie. I'll definitely take Ronnie, but I was giving you the perfect scenario of what right now would make the top of the line.
yeah, Ronnie's a very good writer and
Yeah.
arranger and producer too. And he's a good keyboard player. But all of us play keyboards. Um, uh, for me, I would definitely take Lawrence Payton Jr. I would take myself, and I would take my older brother,
Mm.
Leonard Brott, as on first tenor, and
Yogi.
Yogi. And I take Theo at on the lead. Uh, but as far as double threats, triple threats, see, Lawrence is a triple threat because Lawrence is not only a good singer and a
Mm.
good but he's a drill sergeant. He gonna make sure that every note and every step and every stitch of clothing and every um attitude adjusting, he's gonna make sure that the camp is sufficient. See, there's a lot that goes into it with singing, dancing, dressing, and entertaining. That's just 10% of
Mm.
being a loyal group member. And you have to have your head screwed on right to be able to maintain.
So how you do that, bro, without coming off as an asshole?
Well, you do it with respect, and you never tell somebody to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. So you have to lead by example,
Mm.
and people get it. And then you have to be able to listen to people. See, all of those attributes that Mike said I have, he has them too. So there's times that we're in the studio and rehearsal. If I'm giving notes and stuff like that, or but Mike might have an idea that might be great, or Theo might, and you have to know when somebody's giving you an idea that's even better than what you're doing, and you have to implement that. And once people see that you fair and you're honest about it, and you don't have an ego about it, don't have to be my way or the highway, that generally tend to come together. It makes a stronger unit, and we have that type of working situation with each other. So those are the things that make you come off not as an asshole.
Okay, so here's a question I ask everybody that comes on the show. Has absolutely nothing to do with nothing, but here goes. You're sitting on a park bench, and this is for both of y'all. You're sitting on a
Mm-hmm.
park bench, and God sits down next to you, and he
Mm-hmm.
or she says you can ask him one question. What would it be?
You go first, Mike.
Um, I would ask God, why did he take my mom away from me at such a young age?
Mm.
I would
And
ask God, and yeah, wow, Mike, when you said that, it just
I
touched my
know.
heart. And I just lost my mother a couple days ago. I didn't want to bring that up on this show.
I'm
I didn't
so
want
sorry to hear that,
to, I
brother.
didn't want I didn't want to put myself in that frame of mind. But I would just ask God, if I was walking in my purpose, and if I wasn't, to guide me to that purpose.
I lost my mother in 2020. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, we have all joined a club we didn't want to be in.
absolutely,
So
absolutely. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, a little kid comes to you and I want to be a singer. First off, they say I want to be a star.
mm. And I would ask that child.
Hmm.
I would ask that child, what do you want to star in? Do you want to be a great singer? Do you want to be a dancer? Whatever that, if it happens to be a singer, I would tell him to just don't work on being a star, work on being a singer, and master that craft, and everything else, stardom will come. You have to, you have to just, like, it goes back to loving what you're doing, applying yourself to it, and being the best that you can be.
Yo, what's a bad day as a four top?
A bad day as a four top, missing your plane.
Shit, I'll take that. Although I hate to fucking fly, man. I'm so scared to fly, man. It's ridiculous.
or if one of the guys are sick, you know what I mean, and you got to perform those things, that, you know what I mean, when you can't be the best that you could be, those are the things that, that kind of gets to you, because you always want to be the best. So we work with each other to keep each other in the best shape possible. You know what I mean? Like, as far as if we think somebody's doing a little bit of this too much, or a little bit of that too much, or not doing enough eating right, or whatever it may be, we get on each other about it. We get on each other about it. And that kind of keeps us all. And when you check somebody about their things, when you're pointing your fingers like this, them four fingers are pointing back at you. Those three
Mhm.
fingers are right there. So you have to check yourself too. So it keeps us in line. It's like, you check me, I check you, we check all, and it just comes out right.
Do you think the four tops get the credit that they deserve
No,
as
I
far as the
don't.
groups? And
I
why
think
not?
I think the Four Tops is one of the greatest groups. They have the greatest. I think the Four Tops has the greatest music catalog of any group. And I don't. You could say the Temptations. You could give them all. You can
Of
tell them I
anybody.
did it. I don't care who the group is. Nobody covers the range of music that the Four Tops has covered. And they stayed together. They never broke up. They're the epitome of brotherhood. You didn't hear, you didn't see 40 members and all of this stuff and that stuff. Those guys were brothers. They were
Maybe that's the
masters.
problem.
Well, if that's a problem that needs to be duplicated over and over again.
I mean, dude, it's fucked up that mankind is like that. But we don't celebrate greatness in the a wholesome way. It has to be greatness in a fucked up way.
Well, you know
So and
what?
so
And,
is
and,
snorting
and you're right.
lines off of somebody's belly, and somebody was drunk, and just like it's got to be a fucked up story. And the Four Tops, you just hear about the music.
Well, if you listen, if you know the Four Top story, read Duke's book.
Okay.
Duke got a book out. Just read Duke's book. But you gotta go back to the 10 years before Motown. You have to, so you need to read Duke's book. And those whole 10 years created this brotherhood. And Duke, to put it in his words, those were the best times of the group when they were those 10 years leading up to Motown before stardom. He said those were the best years because it was all of those things. They stayed together. Their love of what they did they sung behind Count Basie. They sung behind a number of groups, a number of Billy Eckstine, Dinah Washington. They sung with some of the best. And he says those, they were on the Chitlin circuit. Sometimes they would do 4 or 5 shows a day. It was those things. And so when you read that book and when you really get down to it and you see all of the things of getting guns put to your head because you're down south and you can't use the bathroom. All of these things that they went through. When you read that book, and I encourage you all out there that within listening and that can hear my voice, I encourage you to read Duke's book, and you'll get all the drama you need.
I think that, well, I don't know who like if it was the Temptations or just the powers that be behind the Temptations, but they made them way more salacious than they needed to be.
Mm,
Well, you're talking about the televised version.
Yeah,
The, 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 well,
they
everything was produced at that time to get viewers.
yeah,
So the controversy and things of that nature, people of the industry know exactly what, you know, producers and uh, networks are trying to establish with over over dramatizing
yeah,
things, I would
yeah.
say.
well,
And
think
yeah,
about this. Think about this. Going back to your previous question and this question too. Just really think about this. You got in reference to the Temptations. You got the great David Ruffin, the incomparable Paul Williams. You got Eddie Kendricks. All these guys were personalities, great lead singers in their own right. They all
Mhm.
could have their own record contract. They came together and they became this mega group, which was just beautiful. Just just a beautiful assembly of men. But then when you really think about it as a group, how when you think about how they died and the struggles that they went through after the
Yeah,
group and leaving the group and this and that is a lot of fragmented and it's a lot of tumultuous and heartbreak in that. And I just want to give you and not and they but they were the greatest people and I met them all. I mean, they would be at my house when I was a kid. They were great. And David was one of the most beautiful men, soft hearted guys. When you seen him in person, that the David Ruffin the star is a totally different person to David Ruffin the person, as well as Eddie Kendricks. I mean,
mhm.
they were just beautiful people. But the thing that the Tops had that nobody had is the brotherhood. They
there
didn't
you
go through
go.
those things because they had each other. So you hear the question, Levi could have Levi could have went off and had a solo career. No, he couldn't have, because he wasn't Levi without those other three guys. He wasn't Levi. He needed them. It was what they had built that in that 10 years, that brotherhood. Before he was singing all of those records and stuff. He wasn't the primary lead singer. They all sung, but it was those things that created the value that they had in each other. So they had
Mhm.
each other to the end. And right now, this organization, the Four Top organization, is run by all four families because of the brotherhood that they have. You don't see that with
Really,
any other group. You don't
really.
see that. Absolutely.
So let me ask you this: has there ever been a moment where you said, "Fuck it, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more"?
I
No.
felt like that a lot of times. I mean, I felt like that a lot of times because it's a lot of weight that comes with that. You know what I mean? And you just want things. You have to. You want things right, but you're dealing with humans and you're dealing with people. So you might want to make a change. You might want to do something a different way, but you
Mhm.
gotta consider this person been in here this long. This person has a family. All of these things. But what keeps me going is I know the job needs to be done, and who better than I to do it? And so,
Yeah. Well,
hey,
I want to add
Okay.
to that.
How
I
much
want
does
to add
ego play a part?
big part, big part. But see, I'm a spiritual person, and ego to me is easing God out.
Mm,
I would say confidence is a better term, because ego, you don't want to you don't want to ease God out of situations, because often come about and they occur. So giving up is not an option. I'm basing that on the fact that I'm blessed to be here because I had a couple of situations where I had a diabetic um, uh, coma, and I was able to overcome that. And then there was another situation where I was on stage and I wasn't eating properly, and I had to be escorted off stage, and I didn't come to. I came to in the hospital in Connecticut, and we had
Mm.
that serious conversation. Roquel and I, or I call him Roky, but his name is Lawrence Payton Jr. And he said, Michael, you have to take care of yourself, and you have to understand the fact that God is blessing you. And so, see, because I put the group first, and I was willing to go out on stage and die because
Mm.
that's the love I have for the foretime.
And my thought to him was this: that's very, very gallant and all of that, but you're not putting the group first when you're putting yourself in harm's way, because we need you healthy. So if
Yeah.
you have to stay home for
Yeah.
one day to be healthy for a year, then you stay home that one day and you take care of yourself, because I need you whole.
So have you guys been scouting your replacements?
Well, you know what? It's coming to that point. You know what I mean? We realize that we're moving up, and I think my phone is going. So if I get disconnected, it's like my battery didn't went out, right?
If
So
if your phone cuts off, bro, I'm suing you.
yeah, that well, you're gonna have to sue me, man. And then I'm from Detroit, so you just bring it. No, but we realize that we want this legacy to listen. If we can replace Levi, Obi, Duke, and Lawrence, then we can be replaced also. So we're positioning this legacy to go on beyond us. So when that time comes, we'll be prepared for it.
Best piece of advice those guys gave you.
The best piece of advice that Duke gave me, and I'll let Mike answer for himself, but the best piece of
that
advice that Duke gave me was, he came to me in my dream after he passed, but he told me these very words out of his mouth. He says, Roquel, he said, I'm leaving this thing to you. He said, and I know you're capable of doing it. I have no reservations about it. He said, but always remember this. He says, make your decisions with love, and you got to operate in the spirit of the Four Tops.
Mm.
best advice I got was to keep it between the four tops, the singers, because no one knows what we are experiencing individually and collectively as a group with on and off stage situations. So you can't take your work home and tell everybody about what's going on. You deal with it within the group.
My phone is going to cut off, guys. I'm
All right, well,
looking at the power just draining.
okay, well, what we gonna do, man? Because Joe, this just been the chemistry between the two of y'all, man. Is I could see why you guys are in the group together. So I'm gonna go. Anything you want to say before you go? We're gonna cut it off a couple of minutes because I just don't want to do it just with one of y'all. Anything y'all want to say? If people want to book y'all, how to get in touch? Any last words before your phone goes out?
Well, I think Roke is Lawrence
Yeah,
Payton.
I
I
think his
think
phone
his
went out
is
already.
going out.
I think so too.
Uh, well, I mean, how did you contact us for this podcast?
I did not. My manager did.
Well, the same route that your manager went through to get us for this. That's how you contact us for shows.
All right, and for the record, people out there that are listening, that does not mean that you bug me about trying to get in touch with Joe. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple process, you know.
We ain't doing that shit, bro.
Right, right. Yeah, you can always call our management. connect with our manager or with Farah or that Farah is Duke's daughter,
Okay. All right. I got you.
and Piper is Duke's wife.
Understood.
And you can always contact Lawrence Payton Jr. The 313-304-5609.
All right. So on that note, man, I truly appreciate you guys for stopping through, man. It's been an honor and a privilege. If there's anything I can possibly do for you, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I got you. Yo,
Or fourtops.com.
that's even better. That's the easy part. Fourtops.com. Just go
Yep,
there.
the number 4tops.com.
See?
Website booking.
I would have fucked that all the way up. Anyway, I appreciate you, Mike. Lawrence, if you're out there listening, appreciate you. And the other members, thank you so much for all that you do. On that note, we out of here. Y'all have a phenomenal evening on purpose. And I'll see y'all back next week.
God bless you, my brother.
No
Thank
doubt,
you.
man. Peace.
Peace.